In this video, we're going to be covering the main part of the application, of which this is the booking screen and the billing. If you look at the main menu, on the main menu, you'll see that there's a customer booking icon. That's how you reach this screen. So let's go ahead and click on that and go into this screen. On this screen, there's a series of tabs that address subscreens. There is the booking information that starts with the actual addition of a client. If you add a new record by adding a new client, it will create a blank over here on the selection screen. When you type in the actual client name, it'll fill in the blank area. If you wanted to move between records, for example, if I went up to Ben Franklin, you see I click on the icon at the end of the row, and you'll see it'll change between the sample records that I have in here. By the way, these sample records, you do not delete them. What you do is you overwrite them by changing the information on the screen down through the information that's included. So when you're adding the booking information and you've come either from the calendar or you went directly in to add a new client that's going to be somebody you're selling or doing other things with, you would fill in the booking information in this area. You'd do the name, address, city, state, province, zip code or postal, email, phone 1 or 2. If it's a company, what you would do is add the company name, the zip and postal address, postal, the city, state, or province, and the type of business that it is. You would add the telephone number, the company email, and the website if there is one. You can use this open icon here or button to go directly to that website from this screen if you want to. And you can add comments, an infinite number of them, in this area down on the bottom to add information. For example, you may want to change or edit this screen as well, so you can add as much information as you want. So this is sample info in this screen. If you want to move between records also, you have the option to click the next and previous. There's another way to move through these screens if you're looking, and there's a lot of people in here and you want to go ahead and find one. You do a find with this button. You would click find mode. You would type in the first part or as much as it needs to find the person. In this case, I'll put in Ben for Ben Franklin, and then I'll click perform the find, and you'll see that it'll put Ben Franklin's information on the screen for you. If I go back to the Von Clement screen, I'll show you that there's a thing called UDF field or user-defined fields. What this is where you have a title that you want to title a field for, and these fields have 3 across, and then there's info that's the actual data that goes in these fields. What this is used for is if I have not included something in this area, these are customizable fields that you can add. Say, for example, you want to add another email in the long field down here. You would type in customer email and then put his email in there. If you want to go and look at this particular record in the portal, you can click on the portal button. It would take you to the portal where there's an additional text screen comments area that you could add over in that particular screen. You can have 3 across new titles and new data. Then you have an infinite number of fields that you can add in here for UDF field data. This should provide you with a information system for additional information for the individual client that is universal, so that you can have as many different kinds of fields for that kind of information, or you can repeat the same fields on each screen in the same order if you'd like to add that information. If you wanted to search on these fields to find like customers with like information, go into the portal to do your search, the individual portal record, because you cannot search in an actual portal. So that's true across all the applications. Any kind of a portal needs to be searched in the actual field on the individual record. Each record for a client has an ID number that's associated with that client. And as you can see over here, this is their ID number. If you have any questions as far as how to address this number or use it, it's actually used in conjunction with the name. If you do a find in this area, you can also do a find for the ID number to find that client if you want to. The next thing we're going to be covering in these tutorials is the equipment sales data screen, followed by billing, payment, locations, and the data portal. Each one of these screens will have an icon or more that indicates that it will show the help topic for that screen in a YouTube video. So you would use that icon to go ahead and show information. You also have the one for this screen that started this video at this point right here. If you're returning to the main calendar, use the appointment button here to go back to the last appointment that you were editing and edit that appointment, and then click the close button here to go back to the main calendar. You can also return directly back to the app by clicking on the buttons at the end of the row, depending on which appointment or information, sales information or equipment that you want to view. You would click on this record. It would take you into this portal where you would see the actual data for the row for this particular client. Then you would click on the green button to take you back into that screen. Since this is the individual portal screen, you can do a search in here, or you can delete a record if you want to, or you can go next and previous to go through the individual records. Once again, you can use the find and perform find, or hide or show the menus, or show all records. If you do a find, make sure you click the show all records again to return all records so you can have them visible. Or if you want to jump right back into the record on the calendar screen, click in here to the edit screen, and you can return or close out to go back to the main calendar. Thank you for taking this tutorial. The next one will be the next tab in the booking screen.